Okay, picture this. A corporate executive calls you and he or she says, look, I have a problem. My leadership team just isn't working well together. They continually fight with each other. And so we want you to come in and do team building. Now, you would be surprised at how often what the client wants and what will actually help them are not the same thing. In this case, team building might not be the problem. I'm Jane McNair. I'm the founder of MOSAIC Change. And we've developed a very simple framework and a simple set of tools to help you improve the effectiveness of your organization. And it works on any type or size of organization. Now, many of our clients are Fortune 100, but we are on a mission to simplify change management and make it easier for any type of business to be more effective. I spent a lot of time training teams on organizational effectiveness. Now, one section of that training has to do with client entry. Often clients will call you and they will approach you with preconceived ideas about what they think is happening in the organization. And they believe that they've already pinpointed the issue and they have a solution that they just want you to go implement. For example, the one I just mentioned, they may have noticed that their staff is not getting along and they want you to just come in and do team building and they think that'll fix the problem. A common misstep among many organizational effectiveness and HR professionals is just accepting the information the client gives you at face value. And potentially you could be overlooking the root cause of the problem. If you accept that problem as the client defines it, you may actually not be helping that client solve the real problem. Could it be team building? Absolutely. But could it be that the team is fighting because they are not strategically aligned? They're just not on the same page in terms of what the priorities are for the organization. So say that Sally sees Fred doing things that she thinks are not part of the priorities to serve that strategic plan. And so every time she sees Fred doing that, she gets frustrated with him. And Fred may feel exactly the same way about Sally when he sees her doing things that he says, why are you wasting time on that? In that case, a lack of teamwork might be a symptom of the problem, but the root cause is probably a lack of strategic alignment. To do organizational effectiveness well, your intake process with that client has to get you 3 critical pieces of information. There's a great model built a long time ago by Frederick Frostmeyer and John Woolen. It was called the STP model. Now, the reason I mention that is to this day, it remains one of the easiest ways to make the most out of that initial client entry meeting. You have to leave with a sense of what is the current situation? What is going on that will not serve to accomplish our strategic plan? Secondly, you have to leave with a good idea of what's the target situation. How should it be if it were perfect? And third, you have to understand what, if any, plans the client already believes will close that gap. But you can't take that at face value. It's important to ask additional questions to identify and validate the current situation, the target situation, and then decide what additional data you might need to collect to make sure that whatever plan you end up picking is truly going to solve the gap between what is happening and what you need to have happening in the organization. It's important to address the root cause of the problem. Having a simple mental model like the STP is incredibly helpful to make the most of that client entry meeting. It helps you capture the essential information from the client in such a way that it makes it much more actionable, and it helps you move towards collecting the right data to ensure that you really are solving the right problem. If you have a standard framework for organizational effectiveness and change management, fantastic. Our book is in the description box below, and if you want to improve your organizational effectiveness capability, you can find more about our training programs at mosaichange.com. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, give us a like, subscribe, or check out our other videos.